one and only here with another exciting video, and in this video I am going to do a live reading of the Dragon Ball Evolution novel. Dragon Ball Evolution was a live action film based on the Dragon Ball franchise. There is a 68-page novel that was written by Stacia Dwesh and Rodi Kohan based on the film. So I'm going to now read that novel live for you all right now. So cast of characters. Goku. He looks like a normal guy, but he's actually something much more. Bulma. This tough speedster riding girl is also after the legendary Dragon Balls. Chi-Chi. The girl at school Goku has a crush on has secrets of her own. Master Roshi. His secrets may help Goku save the world. Lord Piccolo. If he finds the Dragon Balls before Goku, all is lost. Chapter 1. A match raged on the main stage at the Tournament of Champions in Tao San. Everyone wanted to see who had the most skill. Up on the stage, a pretty spunky teenage girl threw combinations of kicks and punches at her opponent. Her opponent wore a hood hiding her face. A boy with spiky hair named Goku pressed his way through the crowd. He and the girl, whose name was Chi-Chi, were friends from high school, and he was excited to watch her fight. Goku nervously ran a hand through his hair. His hair bent back against his head, but immediately sprang back up to its normal spikes. He was worried at first, but now he could see that the hooded figure was no match for his friend. Chi-Chi had some good moves. She was about to win. In the last seconds of the battle, Chi-Chi's arm was scratched by her opponent. Then the hooded figure stepped out of bounds and lost the match on purpose. "Why enter the tournament if you don't want to fight?" Chi-Chi called out. But the hooded figure didn't reply. During the fight, the figure had taken a sample of Chi-Chi's DNA and stored it in a small glass tube. With the sample secured, the figure no longer needed the fight. Goku rushed up to Chi-Chi as she came down the stage steps. "Great match," he told her excitedly. "Goku!" Chi-Chi ran over and gave him a hug. "I'm glad you came to Tosan. Are you in the tournament?" she asked. "No," he replied, glancing around at the stage and the crowd. "I'm here for something else." He didn't want to tell her exactly what. Goku had come to the martial arts tournament searching for 7 special Dragon Balls. He had to get the Dragon Balls before Lord Piccolo found them. Whoever collected all 7 Dragon Balls first would be able to make a wish, a very powerful wish. Whoever collected all 7 Dragon Balls had to recite the lines that would release the dragon Shenlong. Shenlong would then grant a single wish. If Lord Piccolo summoned Shenlong, he would destroy the earth. Lord Piccolo and his assistant Mai had collected 3 balls so far. Goku and his team of friends had found the other 4. Bulma, one of Goku's teammates, was pretty and smart. She had invented a Dragon Ball energy detector, the DBE. It had a screen that showed the location of the Dragon Balls. She wanted all 7 Dragon Balls so she could take their energy and turn it into a new universal power source and become famous. In the desert, they had met the handsome Yamcha and his amazing utility truck. He decided to join their team because Yamcha thought the Dragon Balls would make him rich. An old man named Master Roshi was with them too. It was Goku's grandfather's dying wish that Goku find Master Roshi to help him defeat Piccolo. Goku and Bulma had found him, and now Master Roshi was part of the team. He didn't have a wish of his own, though. Master Roshi was there because he thought that Goku was the key to saving the world. Goku didn't have a wish either. Lord Piccolo had destroyed his house and killed his grandfather Gohan. Goku was searching for the Dragon Balls because it was because it was his last promise to his grandfather. Why doesn't he want to wish his grandfather back? Why isn't that? And now they'd all come to Toy-san. Goku, Bulma, Yamcha, and Roshi. Lord Piccolo and Mai. They all knew that the 7 Dragon Balls had to be joined together before the solar eclipse to make their wish. There was only 1 day left. It was a race against time. Roshi had something important he needed to do. Lord Piccolo had first come to Earth 2,000 years ago with a plan to destroy the planet, but he failed because the great masters of old had sealed him away in a clay pot using charms and prayers. Somehow, after all this time, he'd escaped. Master Roshi needed a new pot to seal Lord Piccolo in and prevent him from destroying the Earth. He went to the Toy-san temple to see his old friend and master, Sifu Norris. "It's been a long time," Sifu Norris said. Sifu was a title of great honor for a master. "I've come to apologize, Sifu Norris." I've come to apologize, Sifu Norris, Roshi said with a small bow. I didn't believe your stories when we were young, but everything you said is now coming true. He paused, then continued. Lord Piccolo, the evil Namekian alien, has escaped. Sifu Norris shook his head sadly. Somehow I thought being right would feel better. Roshi gave his old friend a smile. I need your help, Roshi told him. I need a new clay pot to trap him in. The Mafuba is a martial arts move that combines the energy of the elements air, fire, and water. That's how you'll defeat Lord Piccolo, Sifu Norris instructed. I will make the vessel, but you must use the Mafuba to put him in the pot. All right, Roshi said. Performing the Mafuba would make him very weak, but Sifu Norris and Roshi agreed it was the only way. Roshi was willing to do anything to defeat Lord Piccolo. Sifu Norris wanted to help. I'll have it ready by morning, he told Roshi. In the Toisan Temple courtyard, Roshi was teaching Goku how to use internal energy, a force called ki. Goku had learned to Goku had tried to learn how to master his ki from his grandfather, but it was too hard. He just couldn't do it. He was ready to give up trying this time too. You can't quit, Roshi told him. We have no time left. The eclipse is tomorrow. You need to learn the last airbender technique called the Kamehameha. Roshi explained how air could be pulled together into a ball of glowing energy. Goku stepped closer to Roshi. Grandfather told me about this move. He said I wasn't ready to learn it. You're not, Roshi agreed. But I am going to teach it to you anyways. To master the Kamehameha, you have to master your ki. Roshi brought his hands to his chest. Draw the power of the universe. Channel it through you. Focus it. In Roshi's hands, a ball of blue energy ignited. Roshi held his energy in control, then said, Release! The ball flew out, and in a flash lit a torch in the courtyard. It was Goku's turn. He concentrated, pulling his hands to his chest like Roshi had done. A small blue ball of energy ignited, but then, before he could throw it at a torch, the energy ball disappeared. Practice, Roshi instructed Goku. Light the torches in the courtyard. Roshi turned to go. I'll see you in the morning. Draw the power of the universe! Essentially, they have like pictures from the movie. So now they're showing like the scene from the movie of Mai and Chi-Chi fighting in the tournament. And they're like showing quotes. So it's like, why enter the tournament if you don't want to fight? It almost reminds me of like a Last Time On thing, except we just read the first chapter. Yeah, they're just showing you all the stuff. Wait, they're spoiling stuff. Some of these pages are showing pictures of scenes that we haven't actually seen yet in the book. So that's interesting. What? They're spoiling the end of the movie. What? I don't know why they're showing so much. Okay. Not gonna say everything that's in those picture pages. Let's just continue now. Goku had been working on the torches all night. He was tired. Every time he made an energy ball, it fell apart and turned to smoke. Keep trying, a voice called out in the night. Goku turned to see Chi-Chi jumping down from a nearby rooftop. Goku sighed. You've been watching me? Chi-Chi nodded and smiled. You have to make every move your own, Chi-Chi told him. He considered her advice. This time, he brought his hands back not to his chest as Master Roshi had shown him, but to his right side by his waist. When the energy ball ignited now, it was brighter and more powerful than ever. Using all his strength, Goku sent the energy sailing. Every torch in the courtyard immediately flamed. He'd done it. With a little help from his friend, Goku had mastered his ki and performed the Kamehameha. She didn't really tell him anything. Like, all she said was, like, do it your own way. And then he just moved his hands a little bit differently and it worked. That's very silly. Chapter 2. It was very late. Bulma was asleep in the ancient temple sleeping quarters. A noise in the hall woke her up. She leapt up from her bed and hurried over to the door. In the hallway, she saw someone coming out of Goku's room. Stop right there, Bulma demanded. The woman was wearing a martial arts uniform from the tournament. She turned. It was Chi-Chi. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake anybody, Chi-Chi said, holding her hands behind her back. Just then, Yamcha came out of the next room. What's going on here? He asked the girls. Nothing, they both responded at the exact same time. Good night, Chi-Chi said politely, walking away a little too quickly. The hairs on Bulma's neck rose as she watched Chi-Chi turn the corner. Something didn't feel right. Not a second later, Goku came down the hall from the other direction. Wasn't Chi-Chi just visiting with you? Yamcha asked him. No, why? Goku asked. Bulma looked from one boy to the other and whipped out the Dragon Ball energy detector. 4 dots, meaning 4 Dragon Balls, were moving away from them. That Chi-Chi is a fake, Bulma shouted. She has the Dragon Balls. Bulma started running after Chi-Chi. Goku and Yamcha were right behind her. Fake Chi-Chi sprinted through the temple. Bulma, Goku, and Yamcha were in hot pursuit, but the fake caused an explosion in the temple just before she ran into the courtyard. As soon as Chi-Chi entered the courtyard, she was knocked down with a kick. What was that? She wondered. She looked up to see the real Chi-Chi. Who are you? The real Chi-Chi wanted to know. The Chi-Chi on the ground got up. She was dressed like the real Chi-Chi. They squared off and began to fight. The temple was on fire. The explosion erupted into a blaze. Goku yanked Bulma and Yamcha back from the fire. Find another way, he told them, motioning for them to go back. Goku then took a running leap and jumped through the flames. On the other side, Goku was surprised to find 2 identical Chi-Chis fighting. One Chi-Chi kicked the other and she fell down. The Chi-Chi lying on the ground looked toward Goku. Help me, she pleaded. Goku sprang into action. He attacked the one still standing, thinking she was the imposter. He punched and kicked. She dodged and weaved. They were very busy fighting. Goku didn't notice when the Chi-Chi on the ground quietly picked herself up and started to run away. Wrong one, fake evil Chi-Chi shouted out. Goku and the real Chi-Chi immediately stopped fighting. Bulma and Yamcha, along with Roshi and a few other monks, came running out of the temple. Everyone watched as fake Chi-Chi turned back into her true identity, Mai, Lord Piccolo's assistant. And now she and Lord Piccolo had all 7 Dragon Balls. Mai had stolen Goku's Dragon Balls by using the real Chi-Chi's DNA in a magic potion. Mai was the mysterious figure who fought Chi-Chi in the tournament. Drinking the potion made Mai look like Chi-Chi so she could fool Goku. Now that she and Lord Piccolo had all 7 Dragon Balls, Mai took off. She went to the edge of Toisan Temple grounds and jumped off what looked like a big cliff. A second later, a high-tech helicopter rose from below. Mai was swinging from an attached rope ladder. She had escaped and taken Goku's Dragon Balls with her. Bulma pulled out the Dragon Ball energy detector. On the screen, she could see all 7 Dragon Ball dots coming together. We're too late, Bulma reported. The sky above them began to brighten. In just a few hours, the eclipse would begin. Dragon Temple, Roshi told them. That's where Lord Piccolo will bring back Shenlong. We have to get there before the eclipse. Yamcha offered to drive them all to Dragon Temple in his utility truck. Goku, Bulma, and Roshi all jumped in. Sifu Norris ran out of Toisan Temple with the new clay pot and handed the pot to Roshi. The magic feels very strong. Roshi held the pot safely in his hands. Pray it is strong enough to keep Piccolo inside this time, Sifu Norris replied. Good luck, my friend. Where am I going? Yamcha asked Roshi. He pressed the gas pedal to the floor. Roshi pointed at a steep mountain pass. Dragon Temple is hidden down in the plains below us. They were going up the steep road when Bulma noticed Piccolo's airship floating overhead. We'll never make it, not before sunrise. She sounded tired and sad. Hang on, Yamcha told her. This truck's still got a few tricks. He skidded the truck to a stop, then steered directly toward the edge of a 1,000-foot cliff. What are you doing? Bulma shouted, panicked. Yamcha stomped on the pedal. The truck slammed forward. Don't be scared, Bulma, Yamcha laughed as he drove the truck right off the side of the cliff. Bulma screamed the whole way down. When they got close to the ground, Yamcha pulled a few levers near the steering wheel. Suddenly, the tires folded under the truck. A flash of fire came from its jet engines. Yamcha's truck turned into a hovercraft. He set a course for Dragon Temple. Yamcha was sure that if he couldn't get them there on time, no one could. Chapter 3. On the observation deck of the airship, Mai handed Lord Piccolo a Dragon Ball from Goku's pouch. Piccolo examined it carefully. Then he placed it on the Dragon Ball altar. The stars within the ball glowed. Mai handed him another Dragon Ball. He placed it on the altar and announced, With these Dragon Balls, I will destroy the Earth. Lord Piccolo dropped the last Dragon Ball into place. The stars within the 7 balls moved into a neat row. Slowly, a light began to shine. It got brighter and brighter until the whole room was shining. A low rumble came from outside the airship. The rumble grew into an explosion. In the plains below, the rocks erupted. A beautiful temple sprang up out of the rocks. The power of the 7 Dragon Balls had created the Dragon Temple out of nothing. Yamcha's truck was headed straight toward Lord Piccolo's airship. Roshi shouted, "We must stop him before he says the prayer." Goku couldn't believe his eyes. The Dragon Temple was now standing in the middle of the plain. All the Dragon Balls lined up on the altar on the airship. Goku reached into his backpack and pulled out his grandfather's orange gi, a master suit. He slipped the shirt over his head. Next, he strapped on Bulma's elbow pads and Yamcha's weapon belt. He was preparing to fight the battle of his life. On the airship, the blazing light from the Dragon Balls was hard to look at. When Lord Piccolo stared at it, his eyes watered. The test of 7 has been fulfilled. Lord Piccolo began to recite the prayer that would bring the Dragon Shenlong to life. Suddenly, Lord Piccolo noticed Yamcha's truck. It was headed right for the airship. Mai dove for cover as the truck flew toward the observation deck. Lord Piccolo stopped saying the prayer and looked up. Pulling from his own ki, he shoved a ball of energy at the oncoming truck. Piccolo's ki energy hit the truck dead on. The truck twisted, spiraling out of control. Yamcha wasn't going to give up. He tugged on a handle and squeezed a trigger. From the truck bed, a metal hook shot out. The hook slammed into the Dragon Ball altar and knocked off the Dragon Balls. They scattered all over the floor of Lord Piccolo's airship. One Dragon Ball fell out of the airship and rolled down, dropping through the air, landing on the Dragon Temple below. Yamcha's truck also dropped through the air, but it crashed onto the rocks. Yamcha and Bulma leapt out onto a tower of the Dragon Ball Temple, not the Dragon Ball Temple, the Dragon Temple, seconds before the crash. Goku fell onto the tallest of the temple towers. Only Roshi stayed in the truck. He was holding the clay pot and didn't want to risk jumping out and breaking it. Roshi and the truck crashed to the ground. Goku was clinging to the central tower of the Dragon Temple. Lord Piccolo was standing above on the airship, looking down at him. I'm glad to have you join me, Kakarot, Lord Piccolo said as Goku climbed down to a safer place. You will see my power when I call Shenlong the dragon to grant me my wish. Goku faced Piccolo. I am not Kakarot, he said. I am Goku, and I'm here to stop you. Your true name is Kakarot. You are a Saiyan alien. Piccolo stared at Goku. You traveled by meteor to hide here on Earth until your 18th birthday. Piccolo pointed to a nearby hole in the ground. This is where you landed, he said. I don't believe you, Goku replied. Piccolo picked up one of the Dragon Balls that had fallen from the altar. The stars within it glowed with bright light. Maybe you'll believe the Dragon Ball, he suggested. Goku's eyes were drawn to the Dragon Ball. It was as if his eyes glued to the ball, and a vision came to his mind. A burning asteroid crashes to Earth. Red eyes open. A baby cries. Gohan bundles the baby. Its red eyes fade. Goku's head felt like it would explode. Lord Piccolo was telling the truth. He was an alien, and his grandfather Gohan had found him and adopted him. Goku is a shell, Lord Piccolo informed him. When the moon eclipses the sun, you will do my bidding. You are really the monster called Uzaru the Destroyer. No! Goku screamed. Something inside him was fighting to get out. He looked up and saw that the eclipse had begun. Suddenly his eyes turned red as blood. His teeth became fangs, and where once he had human hands, now he had claws. The whole change took only a few minutes, but it was extreme. Just like Lord Piccolo said, Goku became the monster Uzaru. Bulma and Yamcha couldn't believe what they were seeing, but more important, a Dragon Ball had fallen nearby. Yamcha noticed. How's that more important? Yamcha noticed it right away. If they could get that Dragon Ball, then Lord Piccolo could not make his wish. Moving quickly, Yamcha snagged the Dragon Ball. He signaled to Bulma that they needed to get out of there. They had to take the Dragon Ball far away from Lord Piccolo and Ozaru the Destroyer. Uzaru, Lord Piccolo called the monster that used to be Goku. They have a Dragon Ball. Uzaru looked down at Bulma and Yamcha. His red eyes blazed. Goku, no! Bulma shouted at Uzaru. I don't think Goku's in there anymore, Yamcha said, grabbing Bulma's hand and pulling her away. Bulma and Yamcha ran, but Uzaru was right behind them. With a swipe of his claw, Uzaru knocked Yamcha into a wall. He fell down. Bulma had no time to check if Yamcha was okay. Uzaru was now after her, and she had to run. Chapter 4. Outside the Dragon Temple, Roshi, battered and bruised, crawled out of Yamcha's wrecked truck. Gathering his strength, Roshi leapt into the air, up toward the airship. Piccolo turned in surprise as Roshi came at him, blasting upward like a rocket. If he could do that, why didn't he just jump out there so early? The old man was holding a blue ball of energy. Piccolo threw his own red ball of energy at Roshi and knocked him to the ground. Bulma came out of the temple and saw Piccolo and Roshi fighting. She ran to help the old master. At the same time, Uzaru came outside too. Lord Piccolo called to Uzaru, "Get the Dragon Ball!" Uzaru leapt down, landing near Bulma and Roshi. Uzaru was moving fast, and Roshi knew they were in danger. Lord Piccolo and Mai watched Uzaru chase Bulma and Roshi. Uzaru was focused on Roshi, but Bulma had the Dragon Ball. "I'll get it myself," Lord Piccolo sneered. He leapt over the deck of the airship, dropping down to the ground below. Roshi hurried beneath the airship. In one smooth move, he slid the clay pot into Piccolo's path as he fell to the ground. "Ma Fu Ba!" Roshi shouted. Water, air, and fire all came together. Their combined energy exploded from Master Roshi as the Mafu Ba spell was cast. Lord Piccolo realized too late that he was trapped. The clouds reached out like hands, dragging the alien into the clay pot. Roshi put the lid on tightly. Lord Piccolo was gone. When Mai saw that Piccolo had been captured in the pot, she grabbed a weapon and fired. The bullet didn't break the pot, but it made a big crack. The crack spread, and with a mighty shout, Lord Piccolo exploded out. Roshi had failed, Piccolo was free, and the magical clay pot was broken into a million pieces. Master Roshi had used all his energy to perform the Mafu Ba. He could not fight anymore. Roshi didn't even move as Uzaru got closer. Instead, he said softly to the destroyer, "Don't let Uzaru destroy the Goku in you." Slowly, the red in Uzaru's eyes disappeared. Roshi reached up and touched him. Goku fought hard to turn back into human form. He rolled around and banged himself on the rocks and on the ground. Finally, his red eyes were normal again. His fangs shrank into teeth, and his claws turned back into human hands. He let out a scream and became Goku again. The monster was gone. "Impossible!" Lord Piccolo cried. "No Saiyan has ever changed back to human form before." Goku felt stronger than ever before. Something I learned from my grandfather Gohan. First rule is, there are no rules. Piccolo lunged at Goku. "Goku!" Bulma tossed Gohan's bow staff to her friend. "Thanks," Goku replied as he snatched the pole from the air. He whipped the staff around, ready to take on Lord Piccolo. Lord Piccolo blocked each of Goku's attacks, strike for strike. Goku used the bow staff with amazing speed. The pole blazed, but the alien countered each blow easily. "Noibo extend!" Goku yelled, and the bow staff grew to its full length. Piccolo chopped through the pole as if it were a toothpick, breaking it in two. Goku started moving so fast that he appeared to be in 4 places at once, but it still wasn't enough. Piccolo hit Goku so hard that he fell down. Goku knew he had to do something different if he was going to beat Lord Piccolo. While Goku fought Lord Piccolo, Mai chased Bulma through maze-like halls of the temple. Mai wanted the Dragon Ball back. Bulma dove for the ground when Mai caused the wall behind her to explode. There was another explosion, and Bulma dove again, but this time the Dragon Ball that she'd been holding was not from her hand. The Dragon Ball rolled through the Dragon Temple. It stopped exactly halfway between Piccolo and Goku. Lord Piccolo dove for it first. Goku was right behind him. Like his grandfather had taught him, Goku threw his ki like a very mighty burst of wind. This was the first time Goku had ever used the Shadow Crane Strike in battle. This time, the air from the Shadow Crane Strike made the Dragon Ball shoot out of Piccolo's reach. Furious, Piccolo went for it again, and this time Goku shoved the Dragon Ball away with his ki. It was Goku's turn to go for it. He was inches from the Dragon Ball when Lord Piccolo played the same game. He sent his ki soaring, blowing Goku 20 feet away to the ground. "Humans can never hope to defeat me," Lord Piccolo declared as he picked up the Dragon Ball. Goku pulled himself up on his hands and knees. "I am Goku. I am Uzaru." He stood fully upright. Goku closed his eyes, concentrating. Suddenly he roared. He had fangs again, his body filled with power. Goku opened his eyes. They burned red with fire. Goku wasn't all Uzaru, but he was more than just Goku. He was part of both. "Ma Fu Ba!" Goku pulled his hands back to his waist, gathering his energy with all of nature's energy too. Fire erupted, water burst out, the air twisted like wind. All 3 elements poured into Goku. "Kamehameha!" Goku shouted just as the moon eclipsed the sun. A green flash rippled out from the eclipsed sun. Its energy joined the 3 elements from the earth. Alien and earthly powers joined together in Goku's hands and formed a bolt of light. Goku sent the light hurtling toward Piccolo. As Piccolo fell, he dropped the last Dragon Ball. Chapter 5. Mai had Bulma cornered in a dark hall of the Dragon Temple. Mai was about to attack when she suddenly dropped to the ground in a sneak attack. Yamcha had crept up behind Mai and knocked her out. At last, Bulma was safe. Thanks, Bulma told her rescuer. You're welcome, Yamcha said with a smile. The sun escaped from the blood moon. The eclipse was over. They all stood next to Master Roshi. He was lying on the ground with his eyes closed. It had taken all his energy to put Lord Piccolo in the clay pot, and he could barely move. I wish Master Roshi was well again, Bulma said. Her eyes were full of tears. The last Dragon Ball released by Lord Piccolo rolled to Goku's feet. Goku looked at it and picked it up. Shenlong, he said softly, one wish will be granted. Yamcha and Bulma brought the first 6 Dragon Balls into the Dragon Temple. Goku carried the 7th, called Sushinichu. It was the 4-star ball. It was the 4-star ball his grandfather had given him for his 18th birthday. Goku set the 4-star ball in its proper place. The stars within the ball lined up. They glowed brilliantly until the entire room was full of light. Goku recited the ancient lines. Dragon, the test of 7 has been fulfilled. I compel you to come forth and grant my wish. The Dragon Balls flew high into the air. They spun, shooting rays of light into the sky. Shenlong, the dragon god, appeared in the sky. He was huge. It was hard to believe he was real. His light was so strong, Bulma and Yamcha had to close their eyes. Only Goku was able to look up at the dragon. Give life energy back to Muten Roshi, Goku wished. Shenlong roared. From the dragon's mouth, a light spiraled down into Roshi. Color returned into his skin. Roshi gasped a new breath. His energy was back. He was alive. The light faded from the Dragon Balls. Shenlong returned to his place in the sky. The 7 spinning Dragon Balls suddenly flew away. They scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. I had the strangest dream, Master Roshi said as Goku and Bulma helped him sit up. I was in a place I can't describe, but I was happy. He turned to Goku. I saw your grandfather, Gohan. He told me that there was a lot you still needed to learn. Goku laughed. Well, you better start learning it now, Yamcha told Goku. Did you notice what just happened? Goku looked around. What are you talking about? Bulma explained. The Dragon Balls are gone. We have to find them again. You ready? Goku would follow his friends to the ends of the earth to find and gather the Dragon Balls. They would start soon, but first, he had one important thing to do. Epilogue. Chi-Chi was in Toisan Temple practicing her form. Her movements were graceful and smooth. Suddenly she stopped. Chi-Chi turned around to find Goku standing nearby. She ran to Goku and hugged him. I didn't know if I would see you again, she said. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry I fought you, Goku apologized. I would never hurt you on purpose. I thought you were someone else. It's all right, Chi-Chi said with a smile. I let you hit me. I was just too fast, Goku retorted. You're fast, she countered, but I let you hit me. It was dark and confusing and, whoa, she put up a hand to stop him. Let's settle this by seeing who would win in a real fight. The two met on the battle stage, just like true warriors ready for a training fight, with Chi-Chi in one corner and Goku in the other. They bowed politely to each other to show their respect, then assumed their poses. Smiles turned up the corners of their mouths. Leaping into the air, each was ready to spar. And that is the entire Dragon Ball Evolution novel. Also, dun 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 dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So I read this whole thing only to realize at the very end, this is the 3rd book. I was like, oh, they skipped like a whole bunch of the movie. They didn't skip a whole bunch of the movie. So the first book is Discovery, the second book is The Search, and the 3rd book is The Battle. And we just read The Battle. I thought I was reading the whole book. I was like, oh, they just skipped to the like most interesting part. That would make sense, but no, I guess they didn't skip to the most interesting part. Why split it into like 3 books? This book was really fast. It's only been like 30 minutes. We just read the whole book. So they should have just made it all one book. Let's read the glossary, since I have you guys here anyways. Key, your internal energy source, like a personal battery that you access when you need more power. Su Shin Chu, The Dragon Ball with 4 stars that Gohan gives his grandson, Goku, for his 18th birthday. There are 7 Dragon Balls. To have your ultimate wish granted, you must find all 7. Namix, an alien race that almost destroyed the Earth 2,000 years ago. Shenlong, the dragon that will grant a wish to the one who finds all 7 Dragon Balls. Paozu, the hometown of Master Roshi, the ultimate trainer. Prometheum Orb. This is what Bulma initially calls the Dragon Ball. Hers has 5 stars. Some of these words they don't even have in the book. I just read the whole book. I don't think she ever refers to them as the Prometheum orbs in this book. I know she does in the movie, which is something that I found interesting. I can't believe they split this film into 3 books. But I guess if each book takes like half an hour to read, by the time you've read all 3 books, you could have just watched the movie at that point. And also, it doesn't take half an hour to read. I'm reading it out loud, so it makes it take a lot longer. But it's a fairly short book. Now, let me read these live chat messages. I bet you guys thought I wasn't going to read any of these. I was just waiting to finish the book. Okay, so ha 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 said hi. Yo ha ha ha. Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if you're still here. Make sure to smash that like button if you are still here, by the way. Lucas said hi. Yo, welcome, welcome. Stuwop or Stetwop retracted their message. Oh, now we'll never know what he said. We'll never know. Or she or them. Not assuming gender. Lucas put in a crying emoji. I'm sorry, Lucas. I was waiting to finish the book. I didn't mean to ignore anybody. I just wanted it to kind of be like an audiobook experience. Uh, Goggin is live said, "Yellow, my brother from another mother. You making a what if Dragon Ball Z story?" Oh, no, 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 no. This isn't a what if story. This is the 3rd book, apparently, in the Dragon Ball Evolution movie novelization trilogy. I can't believe they took a single movie and made it a trilogy of books. Goggins said, "What's the title?" He said, "What is going on this timeline? Roshi's too lazy for this. Where is Gohan in this timeline?" So Gohan hasn't been born yet because Dragon Ball Evolution is about Goku when he's in high school, which is weird that Goku goes to high school, but that's what they do in Dragon Ball Evolution, I guess. Let's see. Dahian said, "Is Braun?" I don't know what that means. Johan said something about Spanish. I'm not entirely sure what Johan said. Generith said, "When you dropping a new album?" I actually dropped 2 songs today. Check them out on the channel. The Amazing Leo said, "I'm back. Hi, hi," and then he did like a little like crying but laughing emoji. Yo, Amazing Leo, good to have you. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button. I hope everyone has an amazing day. I thought I had read you the entire movie, but apparently I only read to you guys the end of the movie. Dang. Well, better luck next time. Peace. Chicken a bow.